My ex threw a fit because I didn't pack clothes for our kids' vacation. We're divorced, and every weekend, my kid goes to his dad's. At first, I packed clothes. But then I mentioned I was waiting for his clothes to dry, and my ex said he already had clothes at his place. So I stopped. Now it's spring break. My kid's going on a trip with his dad to see family. I figured, cool, he's got this, he'll pack everything. But when we get there, my ex asks, that's all he's got? I ask if he needed me to pack clothes. He slams the car door in my face. Now I'm second-guessing myself. Should I have packed clothes, even though we haven't been sending stuff back and forth for months? Or should he have just told me if he expected me to pack for the trip? I would have, if I'd known. Well, the kid went on the trip with what he had. So, who should be responsible in this situation? My dad asked me if I was sure about getting married, right before we walked down the aisle. 10 years I'd been with my husband. And that's what he says? Not a memory, not a compliment, just straight judgment. I was furious, but I wasn't letting him win. I smiled, grabbed his arm, and walked. But he wasn't done. Later, as we're taking photos after the ceremony, he starts yelling at me, saying I'm making the guests wait. I remind him, cocktail hour is happening right now for that reason. He knew the plan. He just thought he could shame me into doing what he wants. Joke's on him. My wedding was amazing. 15 years later, I'm still happy. The irony? My dad would have loved me to marry the exact type of man who would make me miserable. We've never talked about what he did that day. Should I bring it up now? Or is it better to let it go? I guess some people think he was just being a concerned father. I told my boss I was too busy to do a task. She laughed in my face. I was the only data entry person at a newspaper company, typing a mile a minute to keep up with ad sales. Then they bought a bunch of new papers, so I was drowning. My boss asked me to do some legal documents, but I was already swamped. I told her I didn't have time. She just laughed and said I'd figure it out. I was 20, the youngest in the office, and they always blamed me for mistakes they made. So fine. I did my data entry, met all the deadlines. The legals weren't due till Friday. Friday afternoon, I finally get to the legals, but the notary had already left for the day. My boss lost it. Demanding to know why they weren't done sooner, because they had to go out today. I looked her dead in the eye, with a mountain of data still to enter, and said, I told you I didn't have the time. She backed down so fast. She had to drive to the notary's house herself. But was I wrong to make her sweat when she clearly didn't respect my time? My best friend just didn't show up to my wedding, after texting me that morning how excited they were. She didn't see the text until the next day because her phone was at the hotel. Immediately she's trying to reach them, assuming something awful happened. Nothing. Hours go by. Still nothing. She starts panicking, Googling car crashes, creeping on socials. Finally she messages the person they were supposed to bring. Days later, that person says, yeah, they're fine. That's it. It's been months and she still hasn't heard from her friend. She admits they'd been distant for a year, and she had a feeling they might not come. Friendships end, she gets it. But like this? She's never going to know why they bailed, or what was really going on. Is she better off without a friend like this? Or is she right to be hurt? My friend keeps saying she's a chill bride, but she's planning a super expensive destination bachelorette party. She's getting married in a year, and all I hear is how laid back she is. She doesn't want to make everything about her wedding, you know? She doesn't want to be a bridezilla. But that's all she talks about. I wouldn't mind, but she's acting like a total bridezilla. Like, she knows some of the bridesmaids are on a tight budget. But she's still demanding this crazy expensive trip. And she thought we'd all be calling vendors for her? She hasn't even asked for help. Then she stirs up drama about the guest list. And then acts shocked when it causes drama. I get that her world revolves around the wedding right now. But does getting engaged make you lose all self-awareness? I don't get it. Is this a thing? So many brides try to act chill, but then do the most. I just don't know if she even realizes she's doing it. Will she ever see how she's acting?